Did you ever hear about the penguin who became a comedian? He was a real icebreaker. Now that's a chilly joke to warm us up, isn't it? Penguins with their adorable waddle and tuxedo-like appearance are often the stars of our favorite animated movies and nature documentaries. But these flightless birds are more than just cute. They're fascinating creatures with a lot to offer. That's right, our chilly friend the penguin can really crack us up. But what else do we know about them? Penguins, our tuxedo-wearing friends from the southern hemisphere, sure are fascinating creatures. They're known for their waddling walk, sleek feathers, and of course their impeccable black and white attire. But there's so much more to these birds than just their suave looks. For starters, did you know that there are around 18 different types of penguins? That's right, 18. Each type has its unique features and habitats. For example, the emperor penguin is the largest of the lot, standing tall at almost 4 feet, while the little blue penguin, also known as fairy penguin, is the smallest, barely reaching a foot in height. And let's not forget the rockhopper penguin, with its distinctive yellow eyebrows that would make even the most fashion-forward people jealous. Now let's talk about their physical features. Penguins have a streamlined body to help them swim in the water. Their wings, which look more like flippers, are perfect for slicing through the ocean at high speed. And their dense, waterproof feathers keep them warm in chilly waters. Plus, their black and white color is not just for style. It's a clever disguise called countershading, which helps them avoid predators both in the water and on land. But have you ever wondered how penguins came to be? Well, it's time for a quick dive into penguin history. Penguins evolved from flying birds nearly 60 million years ago. Yes, you heard that right, they used to fly. But as they started spending more time in the water, their bodies adapted for swimming instead of flying. Their wings became flippers, their bodies streamlined, and voila, we got the penguins we know and love today. So penguins aren't just funny, they're also fascinating. But where do they hang out when they're not cracking jokes? If you're thinking about visiting a penguin, you better pack your warmest clothes. Now where do these adorable waddlers call home? Well, most penguins live in the southern hemisphere, especially in Antarctica. That's right, the land of ice and snow. But not all penguins live in such chilly conditions. Some prefer the sandy beaches and even the tropical rainforests of places like South Africa and New Zealand. Quite the holiday spots, don't you think? Antarctica, though, is the most popular neighborhood for these well-dressed birds. Picture this, a vast icy wilderness with temperatures that can drop to 80 degrees below zero. Brr. How do they survive such chilly weather, you ask? Penguins have a thick layer of blubber under their skin, and their feathers are densely packed to trap warm air. Pretty smart, huh? The emperor penguin, the largest of all penguins, has an extra cool adaptation. They huddle together in large groups to keep warm. Imagine a big fluffy penguin blanket. Now wouldn't that be cozy in winter? Now if you're thinking of the Galapagos penguin, you're right. These guys live near the equator on the Galapagos Islands. They've swapped snow for sun and enjoy basking on the sandy beaches. But don't worry, they're still dressed for a black tie event in their classic tuxedo-style feathers. And then there's the African penguin, also known as the jackass penguin. No, not because they're silly, but because they make a sound similar to a donkey's bray. These penguins are found on the rocky coastlines of southern Africa where they nest in burrows to escape the heat. So you see, penguins know how to chill, whether it's in the icy tundra of Antarctica or the sunny shores of the Galapagos Islands. They've made themselves at home in some of the world's harshest environments. Penguins, it seems, are quite the adventurers. So if you're planning to visit, better pack an extra pair of mittens. But what do these icy inhabitants munch on? Penguins might not have a fancy dinner table, but they sure do have a taste for seafood. You see, penguins are not picky eaters. In fact, they love a wide variety of seafood, and their diet mainly consists of fish, squid, and krill. Now you might be wondering, how do these flightless birds manage to catch their slippery snacks in the vast ocean? Well, penguins are excellent swimmers. Their bodies are streamlined for swift and agile movement in water. They use their flippers to propel themselves and their webbed feet as rudders for steering. Some penguins can even reach speeds of up to 25 miles per hour. When they spot a tasty morsel, they dive in for the chase. Using their sharp beaks, they snatch up their meal and swallow it whole. Yes, you heard that right. Penguins don't have teeth like us, but that doesn't stop them from enjoying a good seafood feast. You might also be surprised to learn that penguins can hold their breath for a pretty long time. The emperor penguin, for instance, can stay underwater for up to 20 minutes. This gives them plenty of time to hunt for their favorite seafood dishes. But what's even more impressive is their ability to dive deep. The emperor penguin again takes the crown here, able to dive up to 1,800 feet deep. That's about the same height as 5 Statue of Liberties stacked on top of each other. And when they are not hunting, penguins spend their time preening their feathers. They have a special gland that secretes oil which they spread on their feathers to keep them waterproof and insulated. This way, they can keep warm and stay buoyant in the chilly waters. So, penguins are quite the seafood connoisseurs, but what about when they're not eating or joking around? Well, that's a tale for another scene. So, stick around to learn more about these fascinating creatures and their unique lifestyle. When it comes to raising a family, penguins could teach us a thing or two. In the world of penguins, family comes first. These feathered friends have a knack for nesting and breeding that's both fascinating and heartwarming. So, let's waddle our way into the world of penguin parenting. When it's time to start a family, most penguin species look for a cozy spot to build a nest. While some opt for rocky crevices, others go for a simple scrape in the ground or even a pile of pebbles. But it's not just about location. These nests are built with love and care, with both parents pitching in to make the perfect home. Once the nest is ready, the mother penguin lays 1 or 2 eggs. Now here's where it gets interesting. Unlike many other bird species where the mother does most of the incubation, penguins believe in sharing the load. Both parents take turns keeping the eggs warm and safe. They huddle over their precious cargo, transferring heat from a patch of bare skin on their bellies known as the brood patch. It's a beautiful example of teamwork, don't you think? When the chicks finally hatch, they're tiny, fluffy, and absolutely adorable. But they're also hungry. So once again, both penguin parents step up to the plate, taking turns to feed their little ones a diet of pre-digested fish or krill, regurgitated straight from their beaks. Yummy, right? As the chicks grow, they form creches or groups with other young penguins, providing safety in numbers while their parents are out fishing. When they're big enough, they'll learn to swim, catch their own food, and eventually start families of their own. In the end, penguin parenting is all about teamwork, dedication, and a whole lot of love. These feathered families show us that in the animal kingdom, it's not just about survival, but also about nurturing the next generation. So, penguins are not just great comedians and hunters, they're also fantastic parents. But are they in any danger? Just like many other creatures in our world, penguins too face certain threats. Life for our waddling friends isn't all fun and fish. They have their share of challenges. Climate change, overfishing, and habitat disruption are some of the issues they're currently grappling with. You see, penguins depend on the cold. As the world gets warmer, their icy homes begin to melt. Overfishing depletes their food supply, leaving them with empty bellies. And when humans disrupt their natural habitats, it becomes difficult for them to find safe places to nest and breed. But thankfully, there are folks out there working hard to protect these incredible creatures. Conservation organizations are taking steps to safeguard their habitats, mitigate the effects of climate change, and ensure sustainable fishing practices. Through these efforts, we can help give penguins a fighting chance. So while penguins are pretty cool, they could use our help to stay safe and thrive. Now that you've learned so much about penguins, it's time to put that knowledge to the test. Ready? Here we go. Question 1. What do penguins eat? 2. Where do most penguins live? And lastly, question 3. How many types of penguins are there? Take a moment, think hard, and when you're ready, check the answers in the description below. Well done on completing the quiz. Remember, every time you learn something new about our world, you're becoming a better Earthling. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep laughing along with our penguin pals.